Yo, I thought you were the test king. Why is your fat ass eating french fries?
Listen, buddy, I want you to understand that this is not unhealthy. In fact, this is actually one of the healthiest meals you can eat. The reason is because if you cook it at home and you know what you're doing, you're not getting seed oils, you're not inflaming your body, you're not getting terrible sodium. This is loaded with micronutrients and healthy fats to boost your testosterone. And I'm actually gonna show you exactly how to make steak and fries so that you can eat this every single day, because this tastes amazing. Why would you not want to eat this? Well, the problem is, a lot of you guys are going to McDonald's, getting fries, getting a burger. How many ingredients do you think you're getting? Guess how many ingredients this is? 3. Potatoes, steak, tallow. It's that simple. All right, so we're at Whole Foods right now. We're getting the supplies to make the steak and fries. Yes, sir. Boosting the test, no seed oils, no bullshit. About to go in here and get the good stuff to max out the test. A lot of people think steak and fries kills your test. I'm gonna show you exactly how you can eat this every single day and boost your test to have 1,000+ testosterone, because the truth is you shouldn't have to suffer in your diet without doing stuff like this. So let's go. So the first thing you're gonna need to get is russet potatoes. We got some berries too, just to toss in there for a snack before. You know what? Let's be high test and just test it right now. Oh yeah, they're good. Cameraman? Oh yeah, they're gas. Certified. Put that on the grocery list. But first, russet potatoes. Then we're gonna come over here and get some ribeyes. Just took both those bone-in ribeyes. They're not grass-fed, but those are the biggest things. It's the biggest ribeyes. Look, show them right there. Almost 3 pounds. That's how you gotta get it right there. Straight to the biceps. Got the ribeyes, got the potatoes. Can't forget the last thing, the most important thing is, where's it at? The beef tallow. This is the only beef tallow they have here, so this will work. But you need the beef tallow if you want to fry the fries. That's why they're called fries. You gotta fry it, but you don't want to use seed oils, because seed oils are gonna make you fat and inflamed. Beef tallow, guys. Beef tallow. 116, guys. $110 on like 5 items. But the thing is, if you want to eat like a king, you can't be broke like a peasant. So thank God we're balling. So got all the items. About to go back and show you how to make the steak and fries properly, because this meal is about to be a 10 out of 10, trust. Oh yeah. Guys, fruit is a hack if you want to get shredded. Stop eating bullshit sugar, bullshit snacks. Anything that isn't from the ground or from an animal, you shouldn't be eating. This is fucking gas. Now that we're back, it's time to prep the potatoes before we go cook everything. So we're just gonna slice these into fries. So this is how you wanna cut them, like this. Hopefully I don't cut my finger. This knife is really bad. But yeah, just cut them horizontally first and then vertically. And boom, you'll get stuff like this. And these are perfectly sized fries. So we're gonna cut all 7 potatoes. All 7 potatoes like this. And then I'm gonna show you the next steps. But this is honestly the hardest part. If you got a girl, make your girl do this, because you don't want to be wasting time doing bullshit like this. You guys are lucky I'm showing you, because realistically I just make my girlfriend do this, because this is the part that you don't want to do. You just want to cook the steak so you don't fuck things up. But yeah, we're cutting up all these potatoes. Now, a lot of people think, oh, potatoes are bad for you. Like, they're not technically on the animal-based diet. I wouldn't abuse potatoes, but potatoes are still a good carbohydrate. Now, carbohydrates are a tool. It's not something that you need, but you still want to have them in your diet so that, you know, you can enjoy your foods, or you can use it to fuel your workouts, because what I found is, you know, potatoes are really good to give you good pumps, give you good energy, stuff like that. Okay, so I'm gonna cook the ribeyes on the cast iron. These things are massive. Just want to pat them down before, make sure there's no excess juice, and then we're gonna season them with some salt. Nothing else, just some Baja Gold sea salt. So sprinkle that on there. Like that. Very simple. And before we actually cook the potatoes, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put ghee on the pan to cook the steaks, because ghee leaves a little better sear than tallow. So we're gonna cook with the ghee, and then after we're gonna add the tallow for the fries. So you're gonna see, this is a hack right here. This is how you gotta do it. Ghee is the best thing for steaks. If you use tallow, trust me, try ghee, and it's gonna make your steaks taste 10 times better. Oh. So we're gonna get this thing cranking hot so that we can cook the ribeyes first. Gonna cook the ribeyes, and after, once all the fat is still in there, gonna add more beef tallow and cook the fries. Ribeyes plus fries is an anabolic hack. Watch this shit go down. Oh, we gotta go one at a time. They're not fitting both at a time. I thought we could squeeze both on there, but after putting that one on there, we gotta do individual ones. We can't do both. Taking the last steak off. Had to cook them individually, as you can see, but they're done now. So now, this is the fun part where we cook the fries. So, got the beef tallow here. Crack this thing open. Oh, some good shit. Let's taste test it just to make sure it's good. Oh yeah, it's good. Test booster for sure. So, pop that in. Oh, beef towel's in my throat. Pause. See how that just melts in there? Perfect. We might have to use this whole thing, honestly, but that's why we got it. One more? Probably. Oh, shit. Oh. Oh, yeah, this is perfect. Ah. Ah. This is how you make anabolic fries. All right, that's probably good. We gotta make sure they're all submerged. Put some more in there. Anabolic. We'll turn it up a little bit. I don't even know how long you're supposed to leave them in there until they float to the top, but it's around 10-15 minutes, so batch one is done. They're really crispy, really golden, looking really, oh yeah, that's perfect. Look at that. Some gas fries. We got the fry scooper, so makes it easy. And then we're gonna do batch two right after this. We'll have to taste test them to see if I made them good or not, but these are golden brown. Oh, we need to get, right after, you're supposed to season them, because that's when they're not dry yet. So we're gonna season them in Old Bay. Old Bay's the hack, they're gonna be gas. So the cooking has been finished. We got the ribeye steak right here. as you can see, looking amazing. Just how I like it. I like my steaks cooked pretty rare, as you can see. Amazing. Got the fries, the blackberries that we got. And that's it. This is the best meal you can eat right here. If you want to have like a little cheat day per se. But this is gas, like the fries, 10 out of 10, steak 10 out of 10, meal 10 out of 10. Don't go out to fast foods. Don't go out to fast food places. Don't go to these bullshit restaurants that use seed oils, make you inflamed, destroy your testosterone. When you can do this right here and get jacked and shredded. That's the goal. Get jacked and shredded. And if you're still watching this video, I actually have a surprise for you. So watch this. If you are still watching this video right now, consider yourself lucky because I am about to drop all the sauce on how you can eat, steak, fries, pancakes, and all these other foods while still getting to 10% body fat. Because the truth is you can, but you actually have to understand how. Look, I had pancakes yesterday. Don't tell anyone through this method. So let's get into it. So the first thing is you need to understand the pillars and how to actually build out a system so that you can eat whatever you want, whenever you want, and get shredded because that's the goal. You don't want to, restrict your calories, count your calories. That's something I've never done. And it's something I'm never going to do because it's not something I teach and it's not something I want to do. I want to be able to eat as much food as I want, lift as much weight as I want, not feel weak, not feel low energy and all that stuff. So this is exactly the protocol that I use, my clients use so that they can eat without tracking, just making sure they're staying active and living the best life possible. So you need to build out your base habits. This is resetting and rewiring your brain and understanding that testosterone friendly foods is what's going to actually allow you to eat this way without tracking or, doing all this stuff that other people say, counting your macros, all this stuff. You just got to follow the guidelines and stick to them. So the first thing is eating 2 to 3 meals a day. I know a lot of bodybuilders say, oh, you got to eat 4, 5, 6 meals a day. Scratch that. 2 big meals a day or 2 big meals in a really small meal before bed is what's going to get you shredded. Focus on high protein, high fat meals, quality animal fats, and saturated fats while keeping the carbs minimum. Now, you can add carbs here and there, but you want to stack it to where it's actually going to benefit you as opposed to making you fat. And then eliminate seed oils and snacks. Snacking is something you don't want to do because the more times you spike your insulin, the less you're going to actually burning body fat. So eliminate the inflammatory seed oils and eliminate the snacking, and that's going to get you shredded. Then anchor your meals around steak, eggs, potatoes, tallow, seafood. Like I said in the video, ribeye and fries. This has elite macros. It has high fat, but it's going to get your testosterone and your metabolism into another gear so you don't get fat. That's what people don't understand. When you prioritize your testosterone, your gut health, your metabolism, low inflammation, your body is burning calories at such a high rate that you don't even need to track calories. You see so many people who are doing, 1900 calories a day and they suffer and they don't get shredded. It's because their metabolism's in the dumpster. Their testosterone's in the dumpster. And then to get just back to where you were, you have to do all these things and it's not sustainable long term. The way I eat right now is so sustainable long term, and that's why I do what I do because I want to be able to eat this way and live this way the rest of my life so I can feel amazing, feel high testosterone. My gut's never destroyed. I'm never inflamed, and I can go out in the sun and get sun without getting burned, or doing all these things. So then you want to optimize and drop the fat. Fat loss acceleration with optimizing your hormones. So this is when you need to lift 3, 4, ideally 5 times a week, but minimum 3 to 4 times a week. And then you need to sleep. Sleep, sleep, sleep. None of this stuff matters if your sleep is not good because guess what? Testosterone is produced in your sleep. Your metabolism is optimized in your sleep. Your hunger is optimized in your sleep. So if you get less sleep, you're going to be hungry as shit. Your testosterone is going to be low as shit. Your metabolism is going to be low as shit. Then you start packing on fat. You need to make sure your sleep is optimized with their circadian rhythm. Make sure it's completely black, cold room. And then you want to add in carbs strategically. Potatoes, fruit, honey, rice, before workouts or maybe the first meal of the day. But then once you work out, you don't eat that many carbs. Because the truth is carbs are not a necessity, but they're a tool. So when you're eating out, you want to think, oh, I want to eat protein first. I don't want to drink liquid calories, which is just a bunch of carbs. And then you want to ask for butter or tallow so that you're optimizing your metabolism. You're increasing your testosterone with those saturated fats, and they're going to keep you full. Because a lot of people, when they eat out, they look at the calories. They're like, you know what, I'm going to get this shrimp and pasta because it's low calorie, but you're not optimizing for your metabolism. You're not getting any saturated fats. You're eating bullshit carbs. And honestly, I'd rather eat steak with a potato, with butter, with a ton of butter, than eat some shrimp and pasta because I know the shrimp and pasta is not going to fill me up long term. There's literally no fat in it. So you want to optimize for protein and fats first, and then try to keep the carbs as low as possible, unless it's something like a potato or some rice. And then you want to sustain and shred. Focus on lifestyle mastery at 10% body fat, the 90-10 rule. And when I'm talking about 90-10, I'm not talking about 10% processed. I'm talking about 10% eating more of, that not optimal food, like the steak and potatoes. Like, obviously, that's not optimal, but then you're eating that food because you want to have freedom, but it's not going to make you fat, if that makes sense. So 1 to 2 planned out meals a day or a week. When you're going out, you understand what you have to eat, what you're going to eat specifically, and how you're going to optimize it so you're not inflaming your body, you're not killing your test, you're not destroying your metabolism. So you can enjoy those foods, you can eat as much as you want, but it's not going to make you fat. And then staying lean while living life. You want to optimize your stress, optimize your sleep, and optimize your libido because those things are all related to your hormones. So once you take care of your stress through your sleep, through the foods that you eat, you lower your inflammation. This is when you can sustain stuff and you can stay shredded. This is why I eat over the winter, I eat 4,500 calories a day and I don't get fat. Why? Because I'm prioritizing my testosterone, I'm prioritizing my metabolism. And no matter how many calories I eat, the more calories, the faster my metabolism and testosterone get. So if I'm eating 4,500 calories a day, my metabolism and testosterone are so high because I'm just feeding it so many saturated fats, so many micronutrients, so much protein that it just goes up and up. And then when I go down to, 29, 3,000 calories a day, my, metabolism and testosterone shrink, but then my like calorie intake shrinks as well. So it's all in a sustained limit. So that's how you want to think when you're doing this diet because you don't want to suffer, but you also want to make sure that everything is locked in. And that's the first step. Now, the stage 2 is understanding the truth. The truth is, you can eat the foods that you want if you understand what you're doing. People say, oh, you got to cut out fries to get shredded. You can eat out. You can't eat out and get shredded. You must track every macro. You need to suffer to get lean. These are all bullshit things. If you want to eat out and eat fries, make sure the fries are cooked in tallow or ghee. If you want to eat out weekly, you need to build it into your plan so you understand how much you're eating so that, oh, maybe you work out an extra day or maybe you walk a little more. Because I'll go out and I'll go to a Brazilian steakhouse and I'll eat literally 4,000 calories of steak. And I just go for a 2-mile walk extra to speed up my metabolism and burn it off. And making sure you just hit your protein and avoid the bullshit like seed oils. And then optimizing for testosterone and eating real food because the smart habits will win. If you understand what you have to optimize for when you're going out, you avoid the poisons, you optimize for protein and high fats, and you limit the carbs and eliminate the processed bullshit that's going to actually make you fat and destroy your testosterone and metabolism, you can eat whatever you want and live the life that you want. But how do you actually do this? Well, here's what I do. When I go out to eat at places, I only really eat at places that eat steak. I don't want to eat other food anyways. Steak is the best tasting food. And if you don't agree with that, your brain has been programmed in the wrong way because humans evolved off eating 2-3 pounds of steak a day. So if you can't do that, your brain's probably programmed in the wrong way. Then I only drink water and I don't eat the bread. A lot of places will give you this bread in the beginning to make you a fat ass. That is the hardest thing you need to do, is say no to the bread and get water. If you can do those two things, you will get 10 times more shredded when you eat out at places. The reason restaurants make a ton of money is because they give you bread to make you hungry. You eat the bread and then you get hungrier and then you eat more, like dessert and other bullshit. And then they also make money off of the drinks that you order. Some wine, some beer, some alcohol, some soda. Drink water and don't eat the bread. If you do those two things, you will get shredded. When I get appetizers, I make sure they're clean. Shrimp, beef tartare, oysters. Those things are going to boost your testosterone and metabolism. 100%. Oysters are loaded with micronutrients. Beef tartare is literally like raw beef loaded with micronutrients that are going to boost your test. Shrimp, clean source of protein. And then when I actually order, I ask for fruit instead of veggies because veggies are going to disrupt your gut, lower your metabolism, and fruit's going to increase your metabolism. And then I ask for everything to be cooked in butter. I prefer not to have any sauces either. Like if something is served with the sauce, I just tell them to leave that out because the sauce probably has seed oils. One, it's probably going to ruin the steak and other things. So just tell them you don't want sauce and to make sure everything is cooked in butter or tallow. And if you do the exact things that I do, you can pretty much eat out every day if you wanted to. Realistically, I could go to a steakhouse every day, follow this guideline, make sure they cook it in butter, get a potato on the side, have some butter. Your test is going to be high as shit and you're going to get shredded as long as, you're sleeping, you're training, you're walking, and you're eating 100% clean. Like you can go out every single day if you wanted to. And maybe I'll run an experiment on doing that because people don't believe me, but it's very, very easy. And then planning. Just understand how you actually plan these things. So say, Monday, 2,400 calories. And, maybe you're around 2,500 calories a day. Monday, 2,400 calories. 2,500 calories Tuesday, all clean. And then, Wednesday you go out, you eat 85% of your diet. And then the 15% you eat like a steak, potatoes. Maybe you get, something else on the menu, like some shrimp or something. You're at 3,200 calories. You just got to plan that out. So, Wednesday you walk more. Then Thursday comes around, 2,300 calories, 100% clean. Friday comes around, 3,000 calories, 90% clean. And then maybe Saturday comes around and you have alcohol. This is when you have to plan around, maybe breaking more of a sweat Saturday or Sunday morning so that you burn off all this alcohol because you can't burn other calories until the alcohol calories are burned out and that you get more steps and you're more active. I'm not saying you have to cut out everything. Now, me personally, I cut out alcohol. I cut out all the bullshit because I want to be 100% dialed in. But if you're someone who wants to include these things, you just have to plan accordingly so that you can actually get shredded. Because when I was drinking alcohol a year ago, I was still 10% body fat. When I was eating more processed food, I was still 10% body fat. Now, yes, is it a lot harder? Yeah. But that's just something you got to live with. And if you understand how to plan it out accordingly, you can still stay shredded while doing the things that you want to do. Now, here's the truth. Eating more clean is always going to be better than not eating 100% clean. And not eating 100% clean is always going to be better than drinking alcohol. So if you just keep this in mind, this will help you a lot better stay shredded while doing these things. So if you're eating more clean, just walk more the next day. Like say you're usually at like 2,700 calories a day. I'm not saying you got to track those things, but just have like a reference range on, how much you're actually eating, because you could be eating a lot more. And if it's not optimal, you will get fat. So just walk more the next day. If I have a day where I eat like 5,000 calories, I'll just add like 3, 5, 6,000 steps extra the next day. So it kind of cancels it out, increases your metabolism, helps digest and all that stuff. Because if you don't aid in the digestion and you just eat a bunch of food and you don't stay active, it's never going to get burned off and it's just going to be packed onto your stomach. And then if you're not eating 100% clean, you have to walk more, break a harder sweat so that you actually detox your body, because the toxins are released in your sweat. So you're just going to have to work out harder. Maybe you got to go in the stair stepper. Maybe you got to, I wouldn't say like go for a run. I'm not a big running person, but if you got to do that to, break a really good sweat, do it. But I'm not saying like sauna or something, because sauna, you're not actually burning calories. You're just sweating. You could maybe go for a 5K, 10K step walk and then do the sauna. That will definitely help you detox, but you still need to walk more. And then alcohol. No more alcohol for the next 3 to 4 weeks. If you do drink alcohol, that is going to be your best friend. When I was drinking alcohol and I was shredded, it wasn't like a ton, but it was a lot, but it was not frequent. So you got to limit the frequency as much as possible. But you can eat dirty while eating clean. Like I said before, the steak tallow fries, the burger with sourdough or maybe sliced sweet potatoes and buns, banana egg pancakes with maple syrup. Like, bro, thinking about these things right now, I want to go eat them, bro. I'm hungry right now. And seeing this shit, like, I might just go make some banana egg pancakes with maple syrup right now, because I know it's not going to make me fat, because it's high in protein, it's micronutrient dense. There's no processed stuff that's going to destroy my metabolism or kill my testosterone. You can eat dirty while eating clean. If you eat things like this, the list goes on. And then the proof. This is one of my clients, Javon. Javon travels probably twice a month. And before he came to me, he had like some love handles, some man tits, like no aesthetics at all. And in just 4 months, look at his chest, look at his arms, look at his stomach, looking way more aesthetic. And he was never like very strict with his diet. He was traveling a lot. He wanted more freedom with his diet. So that's exactly what we did. We got him on an animal-based recipe meal plan. And he was eating foods like this: ground beef, eggs, avocado bowl, ground beef, eggs. Oh, steak with potatoes, anabolic pancakes, like I just talked about, salmon with potatoes. He ate a ton of meatballs. He loves making meatballs, Italian, making these meatballs with, squash spaghetti, tuna steaks. See, you can get fancy with this stuff while still seeing results if you know what you're doing. And that's the most important thing. If you don't know what you're doing and you try to do this method, you're going to get fat. You're going to get fat, because before I actually understood this stuff, I was, eating out, eating processed food. My metabolism was low, my testosterone was lower. And then I noticed my abs went away, because I wasn't optimizing in this mindset to actually understand that, oh, maybe I have to follow these pillars to actually get the results that I want. Because the truth is, you can eat dirty while eating clean, eating the foods that you enjoy, optimizing your testosterone, optimizing your metabolism while doing all this stuff. But if you don't have the understanding and the plans in place, you're going to get fat. You're going to get fat, especially if you're abusing this method. And if you're someone who wants one-on-one guidance and wants to actually enjoy the process of getting shredded without, counting your calories, counting your macros, going on 5 mile runs to get shredded, and having low energy and all this stuff, book a call with me in the link in the description, and I'll see if you're a good fit for my one-on-one coaching, or just shoot me a DM on Instagram saying like steak and fries that you came from this video, and I'll reach out to you personally. I answer all my DMs. I'm a one-man show, so you're not talking to someone else, you're talking to me. But I hope this video helps, because a lot of people want to, eat this way, but they do it so wrong. And I love going to restaurants. I love, tasting the menus, getting oysters, getting a crazy steak, maybe some crazy fish, all these things. But once you dive into, the bullshit foods, you got to ask yourself, like, is it worth it at the end of the day? Because, it might look cool on the menu, it might taste good, but then after you feel like shit. You want to have the best of both worlds. You want it to taste good. And then when you leave that restaurant, you want to feel good so that you can execute more things. And, oh, you're not tired. I want to go lay on the couch. Oh, my stomach hurts. Oh, you don't want that to happen. You want to live the optimal lifestyle so that you can get shredded, you can feel good, and you can still live the life that you want. I hope this video helps. Go get some steak, some oysters, some tallow fries, because the truth is that shit will boost your test.